This week in Codename Goodgame, Xbox has exploded in terms of its subscription, and we might have a new Game of the Year contender. And where the heck did this date for Ghost of Yotei come from? That and more in a one-on-one show that I'm very much looking forward to in Codename Goodgame. And in that vein, today, I have somebody that I'm very blessed to have for this one-on-one conversation that, man, I'm looking forward to this for many reasons. It is Sir Kelvin from the Gaming Duo podcast. Hello, sir. How's it going? Oh, wait, say that one more time.
Hello, sir. How you doing? How you doing, guys?
You were muted. That's why.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did I not say it loud enough?
No, you're good. You're good. No, man, I'm so excited for this because this is our, like, you've been on before, like a handful of times, but this is our first time having a one-on-one.
This is our solo, like actual solo, like show for this time, which is great. I'm like super excited, dude. Like this is, especially for this episode, this is going to be one for the books because it's going to be an exciting one.
100%. And like, because there's a lot, like, it's funny because I reached out to you and I'm just like, man, I would love to have you on. Then you're like 80%. And then the next day, I'm in. And then like after we settled it, it's just like, dude, this is gonna be a good conversation this week.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I don't even know, like, I know the topics, but I don't have a layout or anything. So I'm just gonna let it ride. You're gonna kind of let us, go through the motions, and I'm just gonna wing everything. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I will say, so like I reached out to Kelvin previously. If you're watching, shout out to Supertone and anybody else. If you're lurking, let us know how you're doing and what you're playing this weekend. And what are you going to play with if you're a subscriber of Xbox Game Pass or PS Plus? Sure, but in terms of Game Pass, you have a lot to choose from this week. So where are you leading on that front? Or if you're not a subscriber, did you get convinced? I'm very curious what you think. And there's some Ghost of Yotei news that I asked you in the poll before this stream. Do you think there's going to be a PlayStation Showcase this year? And you guys are split, saying 57% saying no. Kelvin, that's going to come up later. That's my tease, okay. But that's my tease. But I reached out to Kelvin beforehand because usually how this goes is each of us brings like our headliner and a runner-up if there's just me and one other person. But I set these topics to you and you're like, these are all what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we record like on the Gaming Duo, we record Saturdays or Sundays, so on the weekends. But like I'm like excited to talk about this stuff, and I'm going to talk about it again anyways when we record our podcast. So it's a win-win.
Right. Yeah. I'm curious with everything happening with, and I'm going to ask you about this. So I'm sharing my screen. Ignore that for now. Okay. Unless I ask you about it. But yeah, I'm curious with your, just with Expedition 33, it just came out. That was like one of your most anticipated games this year, right?
My most anticipated game, period. Yes.
Your most anticipated. Oh my God. What a week, man. This is on our Discord,
man. I'm like, what is this Christmas? Like, what is happening? Because we got Expedition 33. We had a few other announcements that I'm just like, dude, like all in 1 week, like just crammed in. I'm like, all right, let's do it.
All in 1 week. So this is my question, because I always like to start these also with the getting to know before we dive into what is the headliner. And you and I need to have a chat for a second.
Yeah, I have a bone to pick with you, Tony. Yes. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
What do you mean? So, okay, first off, hold on. So this is the context to what I need to talk about with Kelvin before we get into it, to get to know Kelvin and myself. We are both part of a fantasy critic together. And if you don't know what that is, it is basically where you are creating your own fantasy team of video games to represent you through the whole year. And you are picking a team that's going to be like the most highly reviewed games. And Kelvin and I get to have a fun banner moment to like set the stage, get the vibes going, because man, you and I have had some interesting encounters the past 2 weeks in our fantasy critic. You and I 100%. In particular.
Yes.
Like, I know you had a big thing with Rob, but you and I, man. Why don't you tell everybody what I did to you first?
Well, you see, me being strategic, I'm looking I'm searching. I'm looking at like, all right, what's a good game that's very unfamiliar to people? So I'm searching, looking around, and I'm like, oh, look, it's called, what is it, Bionic Bay? And I'm like, this looks really cool. I remember this game. Where did I see this game? And I could have sworn I saw this in like a big one of the like showcase events, but maybe not. And I'm like, oh, this one is really cool because it has like this really cool mechanic in the game and it's really awesome. I'm going to pick this for my bid. I'm going to do this. And at the time, I had no idea. Like on our Discord, we have like the notification. So when the time is up, we know who bid what. I thought it closes bids from there. So you can see who bid what particular game, but you can't. I thought you couldn't bid anymore. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm set. I am in the clear. I have Bionic Bay. No one's going to pick this. I bid $1. A freaking dollar. That's how I was like, yeah, this is in the bag. And then what was it? Like Saturday night, I get a notification and I see none other than fucking Tony. What did you bid? Like $13 or $12 or something like that? $5? I don't know. You took my bid. You took my game.
$5. $5.
You stole my game.
I had a
and
total
not only that, I think the 2 or 3 days after when it released, it was in 91, 92. I was like, what the heck, man? I freaking knew it. I freaking knew that was going to be a banger, and you just grabbed it right in front of me.
It was the gameplay, man. So this is my side, and this is dirty. It's really dirty because honestly, my side of it is, I admit, you deserve this game more than me. You deserved it more than me because before I saw that bid in our notifications, I'm like, I've never heard of this. What is this? Who's trying to bid on this? And then I watched a trailer, and I'm like, this looks fantastic. Like fantastic. So I was like, you know what? Whoever's bidding on it, I bet you they're just doing $1. I can take it for $5. I can take it for $5.
Bastard. And that's my fault.
One of the highest reviewed games of the year.
In all honesty, that's my fault. I should have stopped. It's like one of those, like, you know, you're on the hare and the rat, and what is it, the hare and the turtle, and I'm just like hanging out, I'm just like relaxing underneath the tree, and then all of a sudden Tony just comes out of nowhere and just starts creeping in, you know, passing me. I fall asleep, and then all of a sudden he wins. Like, I was just cruising. I'm like, this is in the bag. I got this. I put $1 in. No one knows about this game. It's all mine. Foolish of me to think that.
Man. Let me tell you what, I mean, I feel ruthless for that, but it was a great grab. But here's the thing.
What?
Then the next week, I made a counter bid. The counter picks is what you bet on. You have to do 2 of them. Otherwise, you're going to lose a lot of points. You are betting on something that isn't going to do good or it's not coming out. I, for funsies, said that Expedition 33, I feel like it's one of those games that might be too good to be true. But I also think it could happen. I feel like it's either going to hit really hard or hit really low. I don't feel like there's going to be a middle ground. I was right, but in the wrong way. Because Expedition 33, we're going to talk about this, is now like the highest reviewed game of the year. And I counterpicked the highest reviewed game of the year that Kelvin drafted.
Yes.
So
essentially, your Bionic pick was just negated. Essentially, so
it was yeah. So,
but like you said, it's a win-win for you in a way of like, you get this amazing game, you're excited and you're happy for this team to like really have this moment, right?
Yes.
And you know, you lost points, but you know what? You got a fantastic game out of it. So.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was like, either way, I'm going to win. I'm either going to get a great game that I'm going to lose points on, or and I honestly, I prefer that option because that's just life. That's a better thing in life. This is just a for fun thing we're doing. But I'm glad it hit hard, but man, I lost out on that one.
It sure did hit. Yeah, it definitely hit your points. You were at 40 and now you're back to 20 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I lost 22 points on that, man. That's a lot of points. That's
more points than I lost in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, because it's the highest review game of the year. But anyway, so I just want to have that banner moment because that's something that you and I are definitely like we're at odds the past week. And I will say just briefly, I don't know, you talked again. This is Kelvin from the Gaming Duo podcast. You press ! guest in the chat, and you will see the plugins to his channel as well as in the description. Recently, he talked about his experience with Rematch on your guys' latest episode, and I very much, I was listening to that. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. I am. Like, just briefly, I don't know if there's like a 30-second or 1 minute thing about Rematch, and I just want to say something about Bionic Bay, and let's dive into it.
Yeah. So, Rematch, I played the beta for a little bit. I think it was for the weekend, on Easter weekend, and boy, I had such a fantastic time with it, Tony. I mean, it really it resembles, what's that game? Always forget the freaking name of it. Rocket League. Thank you.
You forget it every time.
Always, man. Always. It resembles Rocket League in the best way possible. The mechanics of it is just, it hits home. And anyone can just look at this and say, hey, this is just a soccer game, and it is essentially, but it just, the mechanics of it just makes it feel very fun and fresh. You don't have to worry about any of the like the rules, and nothing applies to that in soccer. It's really just, making sure you hit the goal and you're playing with your friends. Like, it's really just a fantastic game. I did have some issues. Obviously it's a beta, but I did have some issues with the servers. You had some little kinks here and there, but overall it was a fun time. I'm hoping they fix all that when it releases on June 19th. But it was great, man. I had a great time, and I can't wait to play it. That's the thing. I was having fun throughout the entire beta, and it made me want more. So that's all I asked for.
Then that's what you want from a multiplayer. You want them to get into the loop and just one more, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm so glad you enjoy it, man. And like our first headliner, we're gonna talk about Game Pass, but that's coming day one to Game Pass. Ridiculous. And I was looking forward to it. I was there when it was revealed. I was there in the crowd, and it was great. So I'm glad to hear you enjoyed that. And for me, like I admit, I have been hitting Bionic Bay. I've been playing it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is, I'm ruthlessly, I'm glad I stole it from you, but it's also, man, in terms of platforming, this is okay. I put Bionic Bay up with Cocoon. Cocoon was in 2023 as just such a well-designed game. It's a different type of game. It's a puzzle game, but it was so well-designed. That's what Bionic Bay is. It's just such a well-designed game with so many cool mechanics in it. It is kind of a puzzle game, but it's like a puzzle platformer, So it's all about timing and jumping and trying to figure out how do I get across this obstacle and stuff. It's just a giant obstacle course of ridiculous science. But man, it's entertaining throughout. I do have a feeling if I was reviewing this, I would say it's maybe a smidge too long. But maybe that's also me just getting stuck trying to figure out how to do something. but I love it, man. It's great. Like a very great $20 game. Another thing, it's like one of the highest reviewed of the year, to which I want to bring up an idea about that with Expedition 33, along with its publisher. That's going to come up there. So yeah, that's what we've been playing. And if you're here, let us know what you've been playing, and so on and so forth. C2, Gotham, guys, thank you very much for coming. I see the shout outs of Expedition 33 and how they're 30 people. That's something I definitely want to bring up. And C2, Rematch is made from former Ubisoft devs too. So, interesting.
That's awesome. Real quick, Tony.
It's from the Seafood Studio, but they hired them. But yeah, go ahead, Kel.
Yeah, I get you. Going back to Bionic Bay, though, I haven't played it yet. I do want to play, but do you feel as you progress through the game, the mechanics that you're introduced, it just kind of it's like towards the end of it, you're just using like multiple different go back
mechanics. Sorry, you froze for a second. Do I feel what?
Do you feel like towards the end of the game, the mechanics that they introduced to you, are they just kind of building upon each other, and you're starting to use all these mechanics all at once in like this very very creative way?
I'm gonna say, unfortunately, no. I see what you're getting at. That would have been great. Because I get what you're going for, and there's games that's happened, and it's such a cool moment when it's like, this is everything I've learned coming together, and so on. Like, that's again a shout out to Cocoon. That game's phenomenal game design. Then again, I haven't beaten it yet. I feel like I'm at the last hour again, long game, but so it could happen at the last hour. But yeah, for the most part, you are getting better and better over time, but it's not like all these mechanics, you use them all at once. But again, we'll see what happens at the very end. But I'm definitely getting better as I learn and practice through the game and experiment, which makes sense because I think you're playing as a scientist through the whole thing too. So experiment.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, folks, our first topic of the show before we talk about Expedition 33, the Ghost of Yotei release date. If there's time and maybe support, if you enjoy the show, feel free to support. Maybe time for our Switch to pre-order experience. But I have a very fun game at the end that we have both never played on Codename Goodgame. So I'm very, and I want to surprise you with this. It's something that I've never done it before, but I think it's going to be fun. So I want to make sure we have time for that. But
all right,
our headliner topic, you ready? Are you ready, Kel?
Oh, I'm ready. I thought you were talking to me. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready.
It finally happened, folks. This, it's funny how previously in the Xbox One era, we were really bashing on them for just not having enough games and just where are the games and stuff. And they announced their acquisition, spent billions of dollars, and it was still pretty dry. I'll never forget the year of 2022. I'll never forget that year.
It was the year 2022.
It was the year 2022. Even though that year had Pentiment and Grounded and As Dusk Falls, but just people didn't notice those, but they were great games. But
yeah,
now, here we are in 2025, where we are in a place that not one, not two, not three, but literally a handful of games. I can't even count, honestly. I actually should count because a lot of us forget Towerborn, but literally a handful of games are releasing before it's even halfway in the year. And that is what happened this week when the long, terribly kept secret Elder Scrolls Oblivion finally got revealed. And Kel, it happened. Do you have any memories of Oblivion, first off?
I never played Oblivion, unfortunately.
I have a feeling you and I are going to be the same here. Yep.
Yeah, I was a PlayStation boy, and I saw people play Oblivion. I saw some of my friends play, and I was like really intrigued, but I never got my hands on it and actually took some time to play. Yeah.
And I'm with you there. Like, I've watched some people play it, but I do, as the 360 boy, it was one of those games that I always saw. I think it was like Call of Duty 3, I want to say. Probably Call of Duty 3. That I just like saw this alongside that and Cameo or whatever of just games that would showcase what the 360 could do and what it was and stuff. And that's all I know of Oblivion. But the main thing, so it's like, it's interesting from our perspectives. We don't have a history with this. The main thing that's kind of the thing that you and I can connect to is the fact that they got not only Shadow revealed, got Shadow dropped.
Yes.
It pulled a hi-fi rush.
Yes. And Microsoft is kind of being known for that now. Are they not? Like, they're known now for being shadow droppers, I feel like. You have Hi-Fi Rush, you have Bethesda's Oblivion. There was another game that they shadow dropped, no? Ninja Gaiden or something, right? Didn't they shadow drop Ninja Gaiden as well?
Ninja Gaiden Black 2,
yeah.
But that one wasn't technically under their publishing branch, whereas 4 is going to be, so. But that was a shadow drop that they got to announce. That's true.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're, I think it's working for them. I think it's just one of those things that, like, they see the numbers, they see the response, and they're like, hey, this works. Like we talk about Hi-Fi Rush, and till this day, and it's like such an amazing title. It does well for them. So they see success. So, hey, I love these. I love these shadow drops. Like when they do this, especially, again, going back to Hi-Fi Rush being a new IP, no one had any idea, right? At least Oblivion, like we knew what this was happening. Like we've heard rumors for quite some time, but Hi-Fi was like brand new and no one knew anything about it. So for them to shadow drop that was really dope.
Do you find that? So that's interesting because I think that to me, this is and I would love your perspective. To me, this is a way bigger deal of a shadow drop compared to Hi-Fi Rush, or maybe even ever, ? Because the thing is Oblivion is known as one of the most, and I'm saying this as a total like bystander. Like no history with it. I'm not much of a Bethesda RPG guy personally, but I can recognize the significance of Oblivion. Obviously, like Skyrim this is the comparison. Skyrim is Star Wars. Oblivion is Blade Runner. Okay. That's what I'm going to say. You know, in the sci-fi movie genre, they're both classics, but Blade Runner's more that like underground, still well critically acclaimed, but cult favorite. That's how I feel like Oblivion is. And so it's like, and it's one of the highest reviewed games of all time. And you make a remaster of it and it wasn't a well-kept secret to us, but the mainstream peeps, like my roommate's just like, so they remade Oblivion. Yeah, no idea. You know, like it's only for us, but like that, like pay attention to all this stuff. But anyway, so I don't know. I just thought that was nuts that they did that. But my big question is, you kind of already answered it, which is like, why did Xbox and Bethesda choose to shadow drop it? Because you're saying it works out good for them, but it's like, does it though? That's the thing.
From my perspective, if they keep doing something like this, it seems to be working in some way. I'm sure they have some statistics that show, hey, this is doing well for us. Let's test the waters out for, Hi-Fi Rush. Let's test the waters out for Ninja Gaiden Black. Let's test the water out for Oblivion and see how that looks like. Is this going to work out for them specifically with Oblivion? We'll see, right? I mean, it's a well-known title. It's a beloved title. I'm sure it's going to do numbers for them. But it's interesting that they picked Oblivion, out of everything for it to shadow drop. Like, why shadow drop it? Like, what's the reason behind that? I always say this. I wish I was a fly on the wall in these meetings, man, because I would love to hear what the strategy is behind this stuff. And just see what's going on behind, like, Phil Spencer's head or whoever is involved in these things and saying like, well, we want to do this because of this, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, I do want to shout out C2 in terms, because I said like the C2's watching live and I said like the biggest shout drop ever. And he's like, Oblivion is biggest in terms of established games, but I'd say Apex is biggest off of impact. Apex Legends is that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
But to me, like, So I will say this as not an Xbox fanboy, but just as a guy that loves to stay tuned with Xbox. I'd love to abuse Game Pass for what it is and stuff. And I'm just like, why not hold this until June? Because if you held it towards June, then not only are you not going to be stepping on something that you freaking revealed at your last showcase, produced a developer direct for, and are releasing onto your service and Game Pass the next week or whatever, but first party wise, you're good. You just released South of Midnight at the start of April, and again, people are going to think about this, but you just you got this game called Towerborn. A lot of people are probably going to dismiss that, but still, it's technically a first party release at the end of the month. And then you're going into Doom: The Dark Ages like 2 weeks after that, and in July you're going to have Tony Hawk, and in the fall, you're going to have Outer Worlds 2 and Ninja Gaiden 4 probably. So why not make this the sandwich? Why not make your showcase all the more impactful by just going, and it's out today, And like during that showcase, it's like, no way, but we got more coming, It's like, it makes me curious now. Like, do you think Xbox has the stuff in the back half of the year to like warrant this? Like, there's just like, okay, we got the space, or like basically, do you think it's that, or we want to front load the year as much as possible because we want people to get on our system before GTA 6 comes out?
Yeah, it's such an interesting topic because I question myself, why is Microsoft announcing and releasing these titles so close to each other, right? I mean, like you said, you have these titles. Avowed as well just came out not too long ago. I feel like it just came out. Then you had like, South of Midnight, like you mentioned.
A fantasy RPG.
a fantasy RPG, like, and it's just I don't know if it's like you said, they just have so many titles now that they're already done and ready to be released, and now they're trying to figure out when and how they're going to release these titles throughout the year. But like you said, they could have easily done this on one of their biggest showcases in June that they're going to have, and kind of do a shadow drop for Oblivion there, maybe release another title afterwards, like in, a few weeks after. Are they doing this because they have some intel that GTA is coming out at the end of the year? And so is that the strategy? I honestly, again, I'm not a businessman, but I don't think that's a wise move to release all your titles all within the next 3 or 4 months.
Especially when you just produce this developer direct and getting a Game Pass for this game that's launching the same week.
What are we going to see in that direct, right? Like, are we going to are we going to get Perfect Dark Zero at the end of the year? I don't think so. But like everything that we're releasing right now, it's alluding to like, hey, we have more stuff in the back end of this year. But what could that be? So
and that's what I'm worried about, because there's this whole sense of I got a beautiful comment from somebody that was watching me, and he's like, man, you're like the only Xbox guy I like watching. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, it's because the personality of some of the other guys, and we're like trying to figure out what it was, and I knew what he was trying to say, but I figured out the word, this sense of entitlement. Mm-hmm. That's the word that a lot of them feel like that. I won't give names, but they give this sense, and this is actually a quote from one of them, where it's like, because I mentioned, like, oh, it's really overwhelming right now how many games are coming to Game Pass specifically. But even on the first party front, like, it's ridiculous right now. But he mentioned, like, this is we are owed this because of how much the One era and the beginning of the Series era just was a drought. And so there's a lot of catching up that Xbox has to do, not in the market, but in terms of game releases. Now, that's an interesting perspective, and I understand it. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, how many games do they have to release to make you feel full then? Because I feel like if this isn't enough, then what's enough? And then it makes me worried about, like, if they do this much in the front half of the year, do they have to release that much in the back half of the year? Because I feel like they don't. I feel like we're going to talk about Ghost of Yotei soon, but that's the only first, and Marathon. But like, we don't have a list of stuff for PlayStation this year. So it's like, is this not enough already? So
my worry is, I question what do they have 2026 and beyond? Like, I mean, I know these titles are being released now, but like, are they going to continue this momentum throughout 2026, 2027? Like, that's going to be hard to do, right? And so if you're, unloading on 2025 now and just kind of releasing all these titles back to back, I question whether they have anything to give in 2026. Maybe they do. Maybe we have no idea what's to happen. June comes around and their showcase is a killer like they're just going to go full throttle. They'll release some games in the later half of this year, and they'll also announce games for 2026. Who knows, right? But for me, releasing these titles, and I think who was it? Somebody here said, C2 said, dangerous to hold it when we don't know when GTA 6 releases. I mean, yes, but do they have to release it all in one clump? Like, I feel like and
that's why I was wondering if you buy the idea that like they're trying to get so many people onto Game Pass, onto Xbox before GTA comes out.
I don't buy it. I think the goodwill will come as they continue to release 2, maybe 3 titles a year. Like, as long as they have that momentum and they see, and the audience, the players see, hey, Xbox is doing their thing. Like, Microsoft has been putting out at least 2, maybe 3 titles a year throughout the entire year. Like, that's solid. That's not something that they did before. And so if they keep that momentum going, they will keep the audience there, and they will get the goodwill of the audience as well.
Yeah. So I don't know. This shadow drop of Oblivion's pretty wild to me, and I hope that just means there was. I just hope that there was a very strong reason for it, and my big worry with this shadow drop of Oblivion and us hearing of that happening was, wait, why would you do that not only in the middle of your first party releases, but also just in the same week as Expedition 33?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And when you I don't know how this works, but I'm gonna just speculation say you paid to reveal it at your showcase last year. You produced a mini documentary for it, and you gave them the funds to launch it day one on your subscription service. Why would you launch something the same week as something that you invested somewhat a good deal in? Well, I was worried that would hurt it, but apparently Expedition 33 is the highest reviewed game of the year, ladies and gentlemen. And Kelvin picked the highest reviewed game of the year. And I just want to applaud that. Yeah, Kelvin got the highest reviewed game of the year as Expedition 33 is out as just something that, I don't know. Like, Kelvin, you lead this. Going into Expedition 33, how did you feel the days leading up to it before the review embargo comes up, and your feelings when you find out how well Expedition 33 reviewed?
Yeah, I was on the same boat as you, man. I was very skeptical when I chose Expedition 33 as, one of my, bids for Fantasy Critic. And I think, like you said, you had every right to kind of bid on it for yourself, because it's either it's going to be really good or it's going to be really bad. 30 team dev, right? A 30 dev kind of compilation of people working on this title. And it's an ambitious title, right? Like, you look at this does not look like a 30-man squad, right? No. This looks like a full, seasoned, development team, like, focused on trying to get the most high fidelity graphics and making like great gameplay. But I think going into this, I had this high hope of like, there's something here that I see. I see the ambition. I see the focus that they're trying to achieve here, and I'm gonna bank on it. So the few days leading towards the release of it, I was very confident, because first of all, we've talked about this throughout the release. It's been extremely marketed, like, throughout the entire year, I would say. Like, it's just been kind of showing
the death loop of this year.
For sure. But it gave me confidence that, like, okay, this team is very confident in what they're producing. Microsoft is actually very confident in this title as well, because otherwise they really wouldn't be giving this much shine to it, right? And it paid off, right? Obviously. Not only is it one of the highest titles for this year, it also sold over 500,000 copies, right?
Yeah, that's a good shout. That was announced today. It sold over 500,000 copies. Yep.
Like, you can do, like, that was my fear, is like, yeah, this could be, another Bionic Bay and do great review wise, but who's going to see this? Is it going to sell well? Is it going to lead to, potentially this team, going down under? Like, that was my fear. And everything so far, from playing the game, from seeing the reviews, from seeing how much it sold, it's given me confidence. I purchased this myself. Like, I could have easily played this on Game Pass, but I wanted to support the team. I wanted to support the devs and give them my money, because I'm like, I kind of like Microsoft in a sense of like, I see your vision and I want to support this. I don't want you guys to like go under in any circumstances. So I'm just happy that everything paid off and it went, because you've seen this so many times, right, Tony? You see a small dev team and they are ambitious. They make this like AAA title or AA, whatever you want to call it. And it just doesn't pay out for them. And then they end up closing. And then it's just another situation of like, layoffs, all that stuff. But this was the opposite for the first time in a while. So I'm very excited for this title. I've played it. Have nothing but great things to say about it. And I'm shout out to them, right? Shout out to the team for just doing their damn thing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. 100%.
I mean, dude, you said it all perfectly. Like, that's why I'm like, I want you to set this up as your most anticipated game this year. And that's something, man. That's something that's so great, is that like, when something we are so hopeful for pays off, that's such a great thing. I can't remember. I think the only time that happened with me was Red Dead Redemption 2 and Pikmin 4. Those are the only times that the hype, like the hope that I had, actually managed to happen and beyond. And that's what it sounds like Expedition 33 is doing. And as Kel said, it's by just a team of like 30 people, which is amazing, and And that kind of just briefly just being like, I love that it did great. And there's kind of two questions that I have off of this, but I guess first in general, because I see some folks brought up the 30-man team, and that's great. So maybe let's hit this first in terms of big picture talk, because Kelvin, I have some of the best big picture talk with you and Rob, honestly. So I'm curious, as somebody that I've talked to about the length of games and layoffs and so on and so forth, just we've had some really good discussions. Do you feel like Sandfall Interactive is the team? Kepler Interactive published this, and which, by the way, Kepler Interactive is having a great year because they also they are the publisher to Bionic Bay.
Yep.
So they published Bionic Bay. They published Sifu, according to Onyx, and Pacific Drive. I didn't know that. I don't know if that's true. Somebody fact check us, please, if that's incorrect. But in terms of just this year, Bionic Bay and Expedition 33, two of the highest reviewed games of the year. They are. I wonder if Kepler Interactive is like, we see ya, Annapurna. We see ya, Devolver Digital. We're coming after you.
We're coming at you. We're coming for you.
In terms of being like the best indie publisher or whatever out there. So what I'm wondering, though, is does this make a statement? In all these times of like of the whole talk about the AAA balloon bubble or whatever, I loved when I was at the Game Awards in person last year and listening to the speech that the director of Baldur's Gate 3 made for Game of the Year. You know, it's like, it's going to go to a team that has the passion, that isn't being told what to make and blah, blah, blah. He listed it all out perfectly. And I'm literally thinking of another super highly reviewed game this year, Split Fiction. Split Fiction is very highly rated. Now, EA backed it, but it's under EA's original program. So it's like, these are the teams that we're just going to try to fund, let them do their thing, but they are EA games. And maybe a more modest budget compared to like our Battlefields, our Star Wars is, and so on. So I just think it's interesting when we think of Split Fiction, when we think of Astrobot. It is a PlayStation game, but it was done by like, I think it was 60 people in 3.5 years. Baldur's Gate 3, I don't know how big that team is, but they did it for just about 100 million. So that's like teetering in the AAA level, but still not the hundreds of millions that other teams do.
Right.
So I just wonder, it's like between Split Fiction, between Astrobot, between Baldur's Gate 3, and even other things this year like Blueprints and Bionic Bay. Now, those might not hit the mainstream, but this is clearly hitting it. Expedition 33 is.
Yes.
I wonder if this is going to like be the last straw to like finally make every publisher go like, there's something here. There's something here.
I hope so.
That's what I'm really curious about.
I think there's been a trend lately, like you said. I think Blueprints is a good call as well, where, you know, not every title needs to be this crazy, ambitious, over the top 80 plus hour experience, right? We just had Metaphor Refantasio, which, you know, that's Atlas. They do their Atlas thing, you know.
Wait, Kel, I'm sorry. Pause for a second.
Yeah.
It says the stream just crashed or something. Oh no. Oh no.
Can you hear me?
How did that happen? Yeah, I hear you fine. No, I'm saying the YouTube stream crashed.
Oh no, okay.
Shit. I'm gonna give you you see me again. Okay.
I see you. Yep.
We are currently green. I don't know. Jordan's watching live and goes, there's too many games. There's too many games. It's shutting down the stream. There's too many games. Are we back? If you're watching live, sorry about that. I hope that half of the people that are watching come back. If not, then this is gonna be interesting because I'm gonna have to slap these two pieces together. It says we're green, so I'm gonna assume we're green. Jordan says yes, so okay. Sorry about that, folks. That's a first for me. So there'll be two different streams. We'll see how I post them together. But sorry, Kel. We were talking about how like Expedition 33 could send a message of like in terms of the whole AAA bubble and how that goes along with Split Fiction, Astrobot, and so on.
Yeah, I think like I was mentioning before, there is a trend going on, and I'm liking this trend so far. I think, you know, having Blueprints like you mentioned, having Expedition 33 and all these other titles, Split Fiction, that, you know, have this budget with them, but they're not this overly extended 80 plus hour, experience. And they're doing phenomenal, right? Like again, Blueprints is one of them that it's a gameplay loop, right? And if you love that loop, you're gonna be playing that for hours, or you can just play that for an hour, 2 hours, like whatever, depends on your play style, right? But for the most part, we're seeing these maybe 20, 30 plus hour games, and I absolutely love that. Like I'm happy that we're getting into that trajectory right now. We're seeing less and less of these open world, like massive open world titles. And I think it sends a clear message that, you don't need to spend all those resources to get these like, huge titles on board, right? And people love it. People love these small bit titles that you can kind of play with friends, enjoy it for, what it is, and then move on to the next title.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I admit when I saw the Oblivion remaster teaser and that there was like 3 shots in the trailer that he's just like on top of a mountain looking at this like big grass or forest. And I'm just like, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. That's not what's going to sell me on this. But then you just see a bunch of like hot 20 or 30-year-olds just going bing, bam, bam with good music. And I'm like, I'm down for this.
Exactly. Yep.
But but the 30 hours, like the developers said, like there is a statement that they're just saying like, hey, why is it $50? And they said, just because it's $50, don't think that we skimped on this game. We're a team of 30. We were passionate about this. We hit it hard. And they even said like, if you just focus on the story, expect like 30 hours of content, but we'll have another potentially double that if you do other stuff. And I just love it. I don't know, but like, it just makes me think, and I hope that it just instills this message. I was just watching this development video about like Halo Infinite and how there's so much ambition there, but the team just wasn't aligned. And this is why I'm like, Split Fiction probably didn't have a bunch of people. It was probably a modest production. I don't know, but an EA original, I would assume so. And they got it done in like freaking 4 years or less. Astrobot, a team modest of 60. They get it done in 3.5. I looked into it. Game of the Year. Sandfall Interactive. I looked into it. They started their studio in 2020. So they probably spent a year building it, and getting it ready. And they probably went full blown into development in 2021. So they probably got it done in 4 years with 60 people, whatever. And they made the game that they wanted to make, or 30 people, sorry.
30 people.
And I don't know, man. I just hope that this sends that sign. But finally, is there anything do you think Expedition 33 like what makes it special?
Oh boy.
Because to me, man, let me tell you right now, I think you're way farther than me than me. Like I just got to the point. All I'll say is that you run into one of your crewmates, and I've been with them for a little bit. That's where I'm at. But but man, I booted it up. This is the most Final Fantasy X feeling ass game I have played in a long time.
100%, 100%, dude. It's gorgeous to think too, because it's a combination of so many good RPGs, right? You mentioned Final Fantasy X. It has a hint of like Atlas in it as well, right? A hint of Persona. Yeah. It does it well, but it also it pays homage to those titles. It doesn't like copy and paste, right? It's not like grabbing stuff from Final Fantasy X, grabbing stuff from Persona, and just like putting it together and say, hey, this is our title. No, they're really strategically making a title that is, from Sandfall, and like making little things that make it special and stand out, right? I mean, I think for me, I wrote some notes down because as I was playing the game, I'm like, I want to make sure that I remember like a lot of the things that I did like and also didn't like, because there are some things that I was a little bummed out about. But for the most part, this being like a turn-based RPG, but then adding the little twist that they do, right, when it comes to making it a little bit more modernized and
the parry and dodge system, man. I don't know.
Dude, it is such a creative way to change the turn-based style format, but it makes me want to continue. Like, I want to fight anything I see. Anything I see, I want to fight, because that gameplay loop is so addictive to me, right? Being able to be, in this turn-based setting, but also you can press, L1 and you can actually shoot your gun, and you can actually aim and shoot. You can also parry. You can also dodge. I don't want to spoil too much. There's also other things that you get. And I'm just like, that that's cool. And you get familiar with a lot of the other stuff that they implement, and you're like, man, like I didn't know you could do that in a turn-based RPG game at that. That's cool. Like that's really creative. And the little things, man, like little things that you would never think it changes the way you play the game. And you're just like, holy crap, man, I'm having so much fun just by this little thing that they implemented just now, you know? So I have great things to say about it. The game is gorgeous. The gameplay loop is phenomenal. The art style, it's good. I like it. I feel like there's a lot of like,
man, the environments though.
Yeah, the environments are great, but I don't know if it's. I was mentioning in the Discord as well, on our Discord, the cutscenes, the rendered cutscenes. They're I don't know if they look like they're like rendered in 480, and they just look very outdated, sort of almost. It's not an art style. I don't think that was something that they intended to do for the purpose of the game. But maybe it was just budget cost, like to reduce the budget. I don't know, but it doesn't do it justice. I feel like there's like 3 different engines running when you're playing the game. You see the cutscenes look great, and then you see like the important parts that happen, and it's like rendered in that 480p style, and you're just like, oh, like this looks.
Kel, it's funny because it's like it reminds me of way back. This game is very inspired by JRPGs. It reminds me of like way back, during Final Fantasy X or during Final Fantasy VII, there was these pre-rendered cutscenes that were pretty different, and so and it's like let's do that too. but it's funny because the graphics to the game are so good that now we're at a point that like CGI cutscenes don't look as good as the game.
Yeah, what a time to be alive? What a time to be alive, dude!
What a time to be alive, man! I don't know. I'm loving all the reviews. It's looking great, and congrats on having that on your freaking roster. You and Rob, actually, the gaming duo. You have 2 of the highest reviewed games of the year. Between Rob has Split Fiction, and you got Expedition 33. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I think he's watching. Howdy, Rob.
He is. Oh, awesome. Hey, Rob. And also,
either you or you typing. Yeah.
The what's it called? The Fantasy Critic. It's anyone's game at this point, regardless of what happened to you right 100%. Now. Like it can go either way right now. So it's a very exciting 100%. Time.
Yeah. So meanwhile, because honestly, the I didn't mention this with the Xbox section, and I did see in the previous stream before the previous one crashed. If you're just joining, this is like this is continuation of the stream that crashed, and I still see that OBS is putting us in the yellow. So hopefully you're loading this fine. I lowered the bit rate, so hopefully that helped. We haven't crashed yet, knock on wood. But something I didn't mention during the Xbox part and this part is just that Game Pass specifically, man, shut the front door. It's too much. Get out of here. It's too much. Like Carolina Gamer says, Game Pass, too many games, crash the stream. It's Xbox's fault. It's Xbox's fault. The Game Pass crashed the stream. It's 100%. That's accurate. But,
accurate.
I was literally losing sleep last night because I'm about to leave for something, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to leave while I just started Expedition 33, and I'm leaving for a week, and I won't be able to play it while I'm gone. So that sucks.
You said,
and then I have to rush to beat it because I am playing Doom: The Dark Ages the moment it comes out. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, it's tough out here. I mean, I'm still playing Death Stranding, and I can't beat it. Right? I there's too many games coming out right now. I have Expedition 33. Doom's is coming out as well. What else? There's something else that's coming out that I'm really interested in. But
we still have to fight Adam and Eve and 33 Immortals.
We still have to do that. Yep, of course, absolutely. But you mentioned, you're very early on in the game, and I am too. But I think I played a little bit longer than you. But what are your thoughts of the game so far? Like, what's kind of vibing with you? What's not vibing with you?
To be honest, when I first started it, the walking animations kind of got me a little bit. I'm like, this is really stiff. I get the flash is going to be for the turn-based moments, but I wasn't turned off by that, but it was just a little bit weird to me. But like, you know what it is? Shockingly, it's the voice acting. The voice acting, like, I think it's good, but I think you could tell that the mouth is meant for the French language.
Lip syncing is not great.
because this is a team that is a French team or whatever, and I have a feeling that they like animated the characters to match their own native language, but their all-star cast is the English language one with freaking everybody they got. So I'm not gonna switch it, but that's something I noticed. But both of those things, they're such nitpicks because I was telling Kel like before we got on, the first turn-based like fight I got into, I heard the music and I'm like, this is gonna be a banger ass soundtrack, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like,
dude, and it gets
the first one, I'm like, oh. And
it gets better. Like there's a moment when you're fighting and you're like, wait, I didn't hear this before. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, this is really dope. Like I've not heard this before. Like what is this?
I'm going to say, I really appreciate that because when I was playing Final Fantasy 16, a game you're very familiar with, like I kept hearing the same fight track over and over when you're in the open world or whatever. And that ticked me off. But I appreciate every fight I get into. It's something different every time. I'm like, yes, thank you. And it's all great every single time. But yeah, I think the turn-based combat is great. I think the story I'm into. I still like the premise of it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I barely scratched the surface, to be honest. So we'll see. Yeah, but
same.
We need to get to topic number 3 because, man,
let's do it.
We're going to have a good game after this if there's time and support. I don't know about because the stream crashed, so maybe not. Maybe we'll talk about our pre-order experiences with Switch 2. But the thing that I definitely want to bring up is, Kel, how about you take us into it? Amongst all the Game Pass shenanigans, the Oblivion Shadow drops, the new Game of the Year contender, what wiggled in? What just wiggled in? I think it was on Wednesday.
On top of all that, Tony, we also had Nintendo pre-orders. That's true. That's true. Is that what you're mentioning?
No. I'm talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking.
Oh boy, what is he doing?
I'm talking about. Like, what happened? Like right after Oblivion remake got shadow dropped.
Yep.
Expedition becomes Game of the Year. What just wiggled in the middle of that?
The announcement of Ghost of Yotei's a release date. Was it October?
Yes.
2nd?
October 2nd.
October 2nd. Which is okay. Here's my gripe.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this for a second. I was very confused.
I have a feeling we're not even going to talk about the trailer itself. It's like I watched the trailer itself. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But
what's your history with
it?
What's your history with it? Like Ghost of Tsushima. Like, have you played it? Did you beat it?
I have no history with Ghost Tsushima.
Okay.
When I got my PlayStation 5, there was a bundle, but okay, so we're I got a bundle that came with the director's cut, but I'm just like, man, I want to get to Rift Apart first and so on, so it just never happened. But anyway,
so we're on the same page. So I'm not the biggest, like, I'm not excited. I'm excited, but I'm not like, oh my god, foaming at the mouth for Ghost of Yotei. But I was very confused when they announced the release date in like a PlayStation blog. To me, that's something that you would kind of bolster at like a showcase or like some type of event, right? Along with the trailer.
You're teasing at what I want to talk about.
It just doesn't make sense to me. So here's the thing: is this okay? We have two things to talk about. Why did they do it this way, right? And then the fact that they actually gave us a release date for the end of the fall time, right? So October 2nd. What does that mean? And I'm going to throw it in there again, like GTA 6, right? Like, is that a clear flag of like, hey, GTA 6 is nowhere near this area, so we're going to release this on October 2nd? Or is GTA 6 just in December or next year, like I think it is?
Let me tell you, because you mentioned this during the Oblivion part. I fully obviously they have some inside knowledge, but I don't think like PlayStation and Xbox like get that knowledge so much in advance. I feel like I feel like that's not information that they just kind of have. And because honestly, they're just, I don't know. I could be wrong, but I don't picture that personally. But I do see Jordan mentioning Marathon though. Like, so that's going to be interesting because you got Marathon in September in terms of PlayStation. That's multi-platform, but still, that's technically a PlayStation first party thing. And then the month after that, like right away, is Ghost of Yotei. So here's your multiplayer, here's your single player. So maybe that's the tactic where it's like, hey, let's just have a great single player and multiplayer experience to cap off the year. Makes sense. A couple months before the Game Awards too, to keep it fresh in people's minds maybe, and to get some accolades. Sure. Makes sense. At least that's my theory. What I definitely am curious about, that if you're listening or watching this, please let us know, is I'm with you about the whole, just, here it is. Here it is.
Oh, by the way, yeah. So just picture this, everyone. Like, everyone was on the same boat, right? But like, we got Oblivion, we got Expedition 33, freaking Nintendo pre-orders, Switch 2 pre-orders.
Yep.
On top of the mix, just throw that into the mix, and then we get Ghost of Yotei announcement, just like splattered, like sprinkled in there for whatever reason, like just like randomly. Like what a week! What a freaking week!
What a week! So this is the question. So I see Carolina saying what I want to ask, honestly. Isn't there still a secret showcase from PlayStation? I asked this before we went live, and that's why I was curious what people thought, and they were pretty split. You know, majority think yes, just barely by like 7%. But here's the situation with that. And this is why I'm really curious why they did this, because as I said earlier, you know, Xbox is front loading their year, and Nintendo's going to sprinkle stuff basically every other month or every month in terms of what they got. And PlayStation, for now, they're just going to cap off the year with Marathon. And well, I guess technically, what was that game? It's coming out the same day as Elden Ring Night Rain. It looks like a Final Fantasy, but it's not. You know what I'm talking about? Oh crap! What was that? Lost
Tides,
something maybe?
Tides of something. Right?
No, that's not PlayStation, but that's a great shout. Or maybe it is. No, there was something else. I know it looks like a JRPG, but it's not. Souls of something. I think Rob's right. I forget what it's been called.
Souls of something?
Anyways, they have those games that they're like partnering to produce, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I don't know, maybe Death Stranding 2, is that technically one of them? I don't.
Yeah, it's exclusive to PlayStation. June.
It's exclusive, but is that like one of their, like, because I know the first one was, but is the second one like one of those partnered, not exclusives, but like produced games? Anyway, but I just bring this up because at the end of the year they have Marathon and now Ghost of Yotei, and I feel like there was a showcase that could have happened in a situation that, like Jordan, you're saying here, watching, PlayStation's trying to end this generation ASAP. I don't know if that's the case, but what I'm thinking is like,
is it? Sorry, real quick. Hell is Us? Is it?
No. But that's a good shout.
Okay,
no. But
never mind.
Lost Souls. Thank you, Rob. Lost Souls. Yes.
That's right. Yes. Okay.
That's what it is. Yes. But anyways, there could have been. I feel like there could have been, if there was going to be a showcase in the summer, a decent one, because you could just have one last or one actual presentation of Marathon, but you just did the showcase, so that's probably not happening. You could have had the release date for Ghost of Yotei, but you just dropped it. You could have shown Saros gameplay, which they said is going to happen, but now I'm like, is that just going to be a separate thing? Or you're not going to do that in the next Housemarque game?
Yep.
And we still need to know where Wolverine's at. But it's like half of the stuff that they put up, it's just kind of, they're just dropping it. You know, here's Marathon, here's the release date for Ghost of Yotei. So I'm just like, I don't know if they're doing a showcase this year. Because the four things they could have did a showcase on, it doesn't seem like they're doing them together. Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. At first, beginning of this year, I thought for sure we were going to get a showcase. Now, I'm not too keen on that. I think if they wanted to have a show, I mean, we don't really know who else is there. Who else is missing? Like, we have to have Santa Monica. We don't have anything from them yet.
Yeah.
Something has
like we know Naughty Dog, but they're a ways off, you know.
Right. That's 2027, if that, right? I think.
That's what that was just a thought that came to me though, is that if you're just gonna drop this Ghost of Yotei release date in what is a crazy week that I feel like you could have just not like just unplugged the schedule button and pushed it to next week. It's like, why did you just drop it in such a crazy week like you were setting up? I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
See, now the brain's kicking in. Like, what does Sony have? What does Sony have to announce? If they were to do a showcase, let's just play hypothetical here. If they were releasing a showcase September or something, right? Whatever. I don't know. I'm just throwing a date out there.
That'd be great.
What are they going to show? I mean, from their studios, right? Like Naughty Dog, they could probably show a trailer, right? Okay. Santa Monica has to show something. Housemarque, like you mentioned, they could show another trailer. They did confirm that they're going to be releasing more information.
That's what I mean.
Year.
That's why I was like, I feel like that means there's a showcase, but now I question
it. Right. Or they could just shadow drop a trailer like they did with Ghost of Yotei release date. But yeah, it's very interesting, very fascinating to see how Sony's kind of doing their strategy now. And it I don't know. I'm a little worried, to be quite honest. I don't know. Before, like a year ago, you would tell me like, "Hey, what's Sony's strategy?" And I knew it like the back of my hand. Like it's just very like they were focused on one thing, showing those AAA budget titles, and they had their state of plays and sprinkle in showcases here and there, but they had a vision. Right now, I don't really see what their vision is anymore. I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, I mean, the reason is because we're dealing with the fallout of their transitioning from being like 80% single player, 20% multiplayer. They swapped that to being like, basically they literally swapped it like 2080 kind of a thing. And we're dealing with the fallout of that because then they just canceled basically all those projects that they were trying to do. So I think that's what's happening right now. It's a period that we're just dealing with that fallout, but I hope, I like the idea of September because I feel like September could be a great time because to answer your question, this is good. I would love to see what people write up is if there was a showcase in September, what would it be? We would need Wolverine, hands down. We would need Wolverine because that's Insomniac's next game, most likely. We'll get another remaster as because we just always will.
Always.
We always will. Maybe they save the Saras gameplay reveal for there. I would kind of hope. It's just I want a showcase, man. If it's not in the summer, fine, but give us that September one. I really hope so. We could get the reveal of what Santa Monica's been up to. We could get the reveal of it, but it's still a bit off. But
Ben Studio, like what are they working on?
See, and that's what I mean. I thought that they were working on one of those multiplayer games, and it got canceled. I thought that's what I heard. I'm not sure though.
No, I think you're right. But
what's Bluepoint doing? Oh, Bluepoint was another one. I think Bluepoint was on a multiplayer game. Yeah, and then their game got canceled. So it's like that's what I mean. It's like so many of their studios were on something, and then it's just like so.
So yeah, you're right. I think this is the effects of what happened with the games as a service trend that they were trying to do. So. Yeah, so this is interesting to see. Again, so I don't have a clear answer as to what their vision looks like right now, and I'm a little worried about what's going to look like in 2026, but I'm sure they can pull it together.
It's really weird, man, because not to make this a console war thing, but it's just amazing how I feel like that graph just kind of switched.
Yeah, it's such a swap
right now,
dude.
If somebody asks, like, what is Xbox up to? And it's like, like, what do they got besides Doom? I mean, after this year, we know Perfect Dark, we know State of Decay 3, we know Clockwork Revolution. People probably forgot about that. We know Gears of War E-Day. There's some sort of multiple Halos in development. We haven't seen their official reveal, but that's confirmed. They said it in a VidDoc. It's like, it just goes on. Fable got delayed to 2026. It just goes, and goes. And we haven't seen what Double Fine, the Psychonauts team, is working on, but that'll probably get revealed sometime in the next year. It just keeps Blade. Thank you, Jordan. Blade. Like, it just keeps going. So
Blade. I forgot about that. Yeah, dude.
After Death Stranding 2, Kojima's OD project, Contraband, Carolina, Contraband. Like, Jesus. It just doesn't. That's why I'm saying it's like we just totally flipped it. It's crazy. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's wild times, and I hope next year is the time that we see like the bounce back from PlayStation because they are still awesome. They are. Yeah. Anyway. What I would love to know is what you guys think of the Oblivion Remaster, of Expedition 33, of the sort of shadow reveal of the Ghost of Yotei release date. Yeah, because there's just lots there. And Cal, I mean, I want to get to the game, but you brought up the Switch 2 pre-orders. I don't have as much to say about that. It was just an aggravating experience, honestly. I don't have much to say. It's totally in the hands of the retailers, honestly. And Nintendo's own system is a lottery thing. So,
well, I was just talking to Rob about this today.
Yeah.
We're in 2025. Why is this so hard? Like, why is this so hard?
Because of COVID,
dude.
Because of COVID. Like, it changed. It made us have to go to this digital era. And it's like the people that I heard that went to GameStop.
What did you think these big, like, websites, Target, Walmart, freaking GameStop, like, wouldn't they have this robust, like, I don't know, knowledge of like how to make this happen? Like, we know Nintendo is releasing their biggest console ever, right? Like, are we not equipped for this yet? Like, we don't have the bandwidth for this yet? Like, what is going on? I don't understand. Like, to me, this should be like just smooth. I don't know. I'm probably talking out my ass right now. Like, I don't know anything about this, but for the most part, I feel like there should be a system in place at this point, right? But here we are. We're at least in the East Coast, we're waking up at 11 o'clock at night trying to get a pre-order, and freaking it's 2 a.m. I'm still trying to figure it out. I have like multiple browsers open. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting my account. It's saying that I have one in my cart, and then it just comes out of nowhere. Like, there's so many weird shit happening. I'm like, what is like, why?
The shout out to like people that have been on the show actually. Oh, there was things I wanted to plug in earlier, but there's people on the show that I saw them tweet out. Josh Quest Mode. He's like, yeah, I got in the Best Buy line 5 minutes ago and I just got one, and I'm like, I've been in this line for 20 minutes. I don't understand. Like, is there even a line? Or is there even a line? Because it apparently picked you when I've been here for 4 times the length, and it's just. I had a buddy that was like, here's what I did. I opened multiple tabs of being in that line, and then all of a sudden it put me at the front or whatever. I'm like, I don't understand.
Or those people that just like, oh yeah, I forgot. I woke up the next day and I went to Best Buy online and they had one, so I just purchased it. Yeah. Like nothing. Like I'm like, all right, cool. I just struggled for 2 hours and you just went and picked one up. Cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't know. But you got one. I think. Question mark.
Did you get one?
I like how you don't answer my question. You're like, but did you get one?
I don't want. I got one. I just didn't want you to feel bad if you didn't.
I don't know if I got one. No, I'm happy if other people got one. But like, because I did it through Walmart and I have the receipt, I have the transaction and everything. But when I look at it, it says transaction on hold or something, and I'm like, uh-oh. So. I've been telling people in your Discord, I thought was the best way. I put a cup on my balls and I'm ready for them to be kicked.
Okay, there you go.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I'm ready to be kicked, but I'm optimistic. But I have the cup worn, so that's where I am. But I think Rob was saying, I was on Reddit and saw the other day that people were pre-ordering the console in person at GameStop was extremely pleasant. I've seen a lot of people do that. I know a handful of people that did do that, and I'm like, man, I wish that's what I did, because I like waiting in lines like that. I think it's a fun, memorable experience. I'd rather have the absolute than the randomness of the digital. So,
dude, I remember. Anyway. I think it was Kingdom Hearts 3. I think it was the last time I went. 2009.
Same.
Oh my god, such a great experience, dude. I went. Yes. It was like 11:30 at night. I drove to my local GameSpot. There was a couple other people there. We were just talking, shooting the shit, talking about how much we love Kingdom Hearts. It was just such a great time, and I miss those days.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. Oh, folks, here's what I'm going to ask of you.
Oh boy,
we're going to play a good game. And if I lose this, I have to take some kind of a funny picture where I'm going next week. Because FYI, there will not be a Codename Goodgame next Friday because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going on my first cruise ever.
Oh,
with my
nice.
El Papo. Yeah, I've never done that before. Neither has he. He's moving. and it's kind of a sort of like a big last hurrah for us. He wanted to do something that both he and I have never done. I'm like, can we afford to do a cruise? He's like, let's do a cruise. I'm like, oh, you didn't answer the first question, but okay. But anyway, so I will be gone next week, and Kelvin and I are going to work together on our good game.
Oh, okay.
That I will reveal in a moment. So instead of a versus, it's a work together. Or if people want to like oppose that, but I like the idea of working together because I saw that and I think it's fun. But feel free to drop any other comments if you have them, if you're here live or afterwards, about the thoughts of Oblivion Expedition 33 or the shadow reveal date, whatever, of PlayStation's Ghosts of Yotei. Again, we didn't talk about the trailer itself whatsoever. It looks great.
We did,
but, you know.
It's great. Yeah, of course. We have no history, great. So it's like
right. Like what can we compare? You know. So, Carolina Gamer saying, remember when Xbox and PlayStation only had like 5 consoles at GameStop during launch? That's what I mean, man. COVID set the like this is how we're gonna do digital orders. It's easier. Let's just do it that way. Because we don't have to deal with the customer service. They have to deal with our shitty internet. So,
yep.
But our good game, Kel, is we together are going to guess, not themes, because I know that's we're gonna guess sound effects.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sound effects. So how this is gonna work is I don't know if we'll get through the whole video. I might say like 7.5 or 8 minutes of it.
All right.
But I need to change what I am streaming to you. 1 second. There we go. And there you go. Okay. So I'm going to share a screen with you on our Discord call here. And those watching, I would love for you to participate in what is a game of guess the sound. And Kelvin and I, let's say by the 7.5 minute mark, 7:30, Kel, how many points will we get? How many points if you and I are working together on this? You and I are working together.
Yep.
We're going to hear the sound for probably 8 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Do you think we can get more than 12? Or do you want to shoot higher?
Honestly, I would love to shoot higher. I just,
oh boy,
I'm very
20.
bad at. I'm very bad at games in general. Like just playing games. I'm just
trivia.
Such a bad trivia. I'm terrible at. So this might be all you, Tony, to be honest. But I'm gonna do my best.
I was hoping, because I thought of this too. I'm like, I want to have, instead of moments of verses, I want to find moments of co-op. And I think sounds. I think we could do it. I think you will have a better shot at the soundtracks. I have a feeling. I have faith in you.
I do too.
Onyx is our king of soundtracks, though, man. I'm going to tell you right now. That is a person that actually has beaten me. So
I can see that.
We're going to do this. And first, Kelvin, let me know if you can hear this.
I can, yes.
Okay.
It's a little low, but I can hear it.
That's what I was going to say, too. I can't really raise it its maximum volume. So I don't know if maybe you can raise the stream level. Yeah. It's funny because it's low on my end, too.
Oh, it's all the way up.
Oh, no.
It's fine. I can hear it.
Yeah. Well, all the way up.
Okay.
There's 20 sound effects. Okay. Half of them.
I'd say 10.
Oh, wait. 3 levels.
So wait,
okay,
are we...
10 points. It's explaining it. So there's 3 levels. There's 20 sound effects. Good luck and have fun. What's the question?
Are we just naming the game?
I would assume the game. That's what I would assume.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. What is the game? Yep. All right. Oh, this is really low. Okay, Kellen, I'm going to have to make you... lower your audio. Okay. All right, get us in. Come on. Oops. Super long. Okay, there we go. Jesus.
Yeah, that was a...
Okay, you will hear sound. You will hear sound from a game. Bonus point if you guess what the sound is from. Just rewind if you need more time. 3 levels. Okay, level 1. This is probably easy mode. You will hear the sound effect twice. Level 2,
Okay.
you will hear it 3 times. Interesting. Level 3 will be 3
Plus
times
hints.
and a hint. I'm assuming... Interesting. I thought it would get more difficult over time, but maybe it means as the timer goes. I did not check this beforehand, so...
All right.
Mortal
Okay.
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so that's an example. We got that. See, Kelvin, you can do it.
All the even show. Oh, great. Love it. I love the fatalities, dude. They're so fun.
It is very quiet. You're right. Hang on. Actually, let me see a sound mixer. Maybe that's on my computer settings. Oh, it is. Jesus. Okay, this might get really loud all of a sudden.
Fatality.
Oh,
There we go. There we go.
Okay. Okay, hang on. I got it now. I turned you down, so I need to turn you back up. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that was way louder for you, right?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, here we go.
Raiden wins.
I might have to turn this.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. I almost want to skip ahead, man.
Yeah, I feel like these are too easy. Let's go to level 2.
We'll see one more. We'll see one more and how it goes.
Okay. What is this? Number 2. This is Pac-Man, no?
It's Pac-Man, yeah. So we got 2. I made it a lot louder.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna skip ahead.
All right, let's skip it.
That was a warm-up. We're gonna
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
number 10. Okay, I'm gonna just play it from here. So it just did Among Us, but we're gonna go from here.
I would have lost that one. to be honest.
Really?
What was
Oh.
that?
Oh. I don't know. Like OG?
That-
Oh, Age of Empires.
Oh.
I'll guess Age of Empires.
Maybe, yeah.
Ah!
Wow. Holy shit, dude.
That was like a
Nice.
total Hail Mary. I had no... Okay. I don't even play Age of Empires. I'm like, this just sounds like it'd be from it. Wow.
That's so funny.
Oh. I know
What?
that. I have another guess.
That's Twisted Metal,
Titanfall?
right? Okay.
We got Twisted Metal and Titanfall. So we'll hopefully one of those is it. Oh, Overwatch. I knew I
Okay.
recognized it, but I didn't know what it was from. Okay.
Oh.
Oh. It's a Nintendo
quick.
thing. I don't know.
I
Hold
don't
on.
know.
Any
Yeah, give it a
guess?
sec. Can you play it back for a second?
I don't want to do that, man.
It's gonna mess it up. All right.
I'm gonna say Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. Okay, I can see that. I almost want to say like, no, they already had Mario, so I was gonna say Mario, but Kirby maybe. It has to be like a Nintendo game.
That's what I think too. It was it's Final Fantasy
Wow.
VII. The Chocobos. The Chocobos of Final Fantasy VII.
That's really
Okay.
hard.
I feel like that's an upgrade. Like you just upgraded a stat or something, but I have no idea what that is. Zero
Oblivion.
idea.
I don't know.
Oblivion? All right, let's go. If it is. Okay.
Oh,
Assassin's Creed, The Hidden Blade.
Hidden Blade. Okay.
Okay. These
These are hard.
these are hard. We asked for this. I don't know.
Portal?
BioShock. Portal and BioShock. I feel like Portal's a good guess.
I
Elder
was gonna
Scrolls
flip out.
5 and Oblivion. Okay, Skyrim
Okay.
and Oblivion. Nert Root. That's cool that they say what the sound is.
Yeah. All right, this is
Jesus.
level 3. So now we'll get a hint.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, we've
only
level
we've
2,
only
so.
gotten like one. It was the Age of Empires one in terms of the skipping to level 2.
And that was a good guess, by the way.
That was a
like
Hail Mary.
there.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
Any door in any
no,
game,
I don't.
really.
Minecraft. I think it's Minecraft. It sounds. I don't play Minecraft, but it sounds like a Minecraft sound.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I'm gonna say Minecraft.
Yeah, everyone's agreeing with you.
Okay. Let's go.
Good
it is
stuff,
Minecraft. Woo. Okay.
Come on.
I don't know.
Oh, I can't see it. You.
Sorry. Yep. There we go.
There you go. Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't have anything here.
World of Warcraft.
Oh.
I said World of Warcraft earlier. Okay. Oh.
Call of Duty? Halo. It's
Halo 5 specifically. Halo 5.
What gun is it? Quick, Tony.
Well, it's a battle rifle. Well, actually, it could be any Halo, but I think that's Halo 5's battle rifle. It's a Halo battle rifle. I know that. It is Halo 5, and it is a battle rifle. Booyah, motherfucker.
That's wild, dude.
Explicit language.
What?
I feel like, is it a multiplayer game and that's like the theme or something? This sounds like it's not Rematch, but it sounds like, it would be something like that. Walk out. See, I'm right. I'm gonna say a FIFA, I don't know, 2022.
An EA sports game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say FIFA. I feel like it's like a FIFA or an NFL, but I'll say FIFA. But I
Rob says Rocket League. That's a good one.
No way.
Ah! Woo!
Oh my god!
Wow.
I'm good at this shit.
This is impressive. Wow.
Well, I haven't even keeping track. Was that 3?
3,
or
yeah,
4?
that's 3.
I don't know. Okay. Again, it's like an upgrade or something. I don't know. Oh, Project Red.
Project Red.
So.
Oh, Witcher 3.
Is it Witcher 3?
Yeah.
Without the hint, yeah. I feel bad when the hint comes up, but I don't know if I want to take that one. I feel bad about the hint. Should we just not take it if we don't get it by the time the hint hits?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Or Tears of the Kingdom, either or. 18 games strong. Yeah. That is what is it? The opening the chest.
Opening the chest, yeah.
Or no, solving a puzzle. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
We don't get the point.
No.
4 or 5.
Hey!
Huh?
Listen!
Hey. Bonus.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Roblox? No, it's not. I don't know.
I can't. I don't know.
Annoying
guests.
I have no idea. C2 says Outlast. No.
Outlast.
Fortnite. Doom. I love seeing seeing those watching. Oh, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Okay, I can see that. We only got like 4 here. Yeah, I'm just gonna play one of these easier ones, and I'm just curious if like, so just one of these. Actually, I wouldn't recognize that. Would you know it? I know
GTA?
it. Do you know it? Yeah, but which one?
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure. I think it's San Andreas. It's either San Andreas or 4, but I think it's San Andreas. Yeah, okay. We only got like 4 of those, Kelvin.
Dude, that was hard. After level 2 or after level 1, I was like,
after level 1.
This is very specific noises. So, but it was fun. That was cool. I like it.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I thought I would try that, especially to like give the cooperative feel of especially if you have a group. It just, I admit I got that from Kind of Feudy or whatever. They're just Game Showdown, and I saw no, actually it was a Games Cast, and Blessing and Tim were working together on it, and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun, like to actually have co-op sessions instead of just face-offs. But yeah. How many did you get if you were watching live? And I don't know, man. I feel like this passed by so fast, but that's the show.
Quick, man.
So
I feel like it was fast, but it didn't
help that there was like a break. Yeah.
Yeah. But we talked a lot about a lot of good topics. So this was a great time. I had a good time.
Yeah, me too. And I hope you make lots of progress on Expedition 33 this week. I'm
about to play right now, man. After this, I'm going straight to my PS5.
I appreciate you taking the time to hang out and talk about it, man. That's so, course, I appreciate it. And I'm glad we did our first one-on-one, and I don't know, I enjoyed it. I kind of wanted that ending to be a bit more, if I participate, I have to be as blind as possible going into it. So I didn't know what we would get there, but we'll find a good one next time. Or I'd like, if you're watching, submit some good ones. If you find a good YouTube video of like challenges like that, just send it to me. I would love that. That's another way you could be a part of it. And if you have any other comments or questions, please submit them. And Kelvin from the Gaming Duo podcast, you and Rob just had a great conversation about just fresh new IP. And I think Expedition 33 this week goes great with that. So shout out to your show, and just everybody follow up on that if you want something to listen to while you grind this weekend or something. But any departing words, Kel?
As always, it's a blast being on your show, Tony. Again, guys, if you don't mind, check us out. We do have our next episode coming out on Monday, so stay tuned for that. I'll talk more about Expedition 33. I'm sure Rob will talk more about it as well, so get his insight. But yeah, stay tuned for that on Monday. And Tony, again, I had a blast. Thank you so much for letting me in. I'm so happy, man. We got to do a one-on-one. Finally.
And it's awesome, man. And yeah, folks, I will be gone next week, but this is a tease. Next week, I am going to be revealing the release year of Kingdom Hearts 4.
Sorry? What?
Stay tuned, everybody. Make sure you subscribe with the bells notified, and make sure you're around Tuesday morning. I'll see you then in a scheduled video that will see what happens. Toodles McFruitles.